Yeah, you gotta plug in a microphone. Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Al, me, Mac, Mr. Mike, Liari. Thanks for earlier. Did I help? I don't even remember. I just remember bugging you while you were trying to play Hollow Knight. Hello. Thanks for later. You'll know. You'll know. Oh, okay. I see. Hi. All right, we've got about 20 minutes, then a break, and then a couple hours after that. It is. I like watching Hollow Knight. I need to get back into it at some point, but you know, gestures at everything. As soon as I left you, work sucked today, so I was very in and out. I had a few windows to pop in and annoy people, and I took advantage of that. Ooh, should I do a new playthrough or? Because you know there's going to be like some little nook or cranny that's like way out of, just all over the place. That's going to be like, oh yeah, you need this random key item that is on the opposite side of where the new area is. So, ooh, yeah, we'll see. I would like to, but geez, when am I going to find the time for that? Maybe if I just sleep less. Okay. Oh, thank you for the lizards. Here they come. Whoa, lizards. Get it. Oh, the void. Welcome in, Willow. Real quick, I'm going to try and hash out this feature for plain unlocked music. There's no way to unlock it yet, so it just kind of unlocks some randomly when the game starts. Don't worry about it. Currently it almost works, except it just plays over itself over and over again, and that's not great. So it's supposed to be when you demo a song, you stop the song. Okay, maybe that's enough. All right, so let's check it out. I might need to turn this music down. Silk Song was really good. I had a lot of fun with it. Okay, so here we go. Music. Okay, so that didn't work. Why didn't that work? When you demo a song, it plays it. Great. I guess in demo needs to actually, yeah. Okay, hang on. That's probably it, right? Like, is this enough right here? Is that a fix? Yeah, you can see there's a problem there. Okay, that's good. Okay, cool. Now, when I exit this, it's not going to end the demo yet. Yeah, it's just going to be awkwardly quiet forever. So that's the next phase, is we need to call end demo. Pretty much everywhere in here, right? Where can we audio handler, maybe like when you unpause, maybe only on unpause. Unpause. Take me to unpause. All right, let's see if that works. There's a specific area that I'm worried about, and that's Lily's pad, because that's already a musical cue. Okay, so it stays up while the pause menu is up. It didn't switch back to the right spot in the music, but maybe that's okay-ish. So we go to Frogtown North. Here come the Pibs! Okay, so here's the spot where we're in the middle of a different song. And now I turn on... Switches back to this, and now, does it successfully? Yes. What if it's already playing that song? Steel Soul is done. Steel Heart is done. I've fully achieved. So I am the Silk Song now. I haven't done Hollow Knight though. I got 112 ages ago, but not Steel Soul or Steel Heart. It's a different game. It despite I assume being built on the same engine, it doesn't play the same. You know? And I feel like Silksong gives you so many more tools. Not capital T tools, but just like it's a much wider area that you can reach out into, especially in chapter 2. Like if you're coming up on something and you're like, that's gonna be tough, I need some extra insurance, you probably can go find what you need. When I was doing Steel Soul, I routed it out so that I actually had my 6th mask before hitting the moor, Greymoor. There's if you do a little bit of a cheeky skip by baiting an enemy around, you can get a 4th mask shard before you even go up through Farfield into Greymoor. And also you can get enough fleas to, of course, skip Moorwing, which I took advantage of that because like that's a scary fight when you're early in the game. No, 4. There's 4 that are Act 3 exclusive. 4 mask shards, 1 mask total. The exact 4 are in Brightvein, Eastern Farfields. No, wait, that's not actually... That's the reward for the Grass Doll quest. Beating the Scar, the hunter guy. Lower left, no, there's a mask shard in lower left Mount Fay, but that one you just need double jump. And that's all you need for it. There's a one in the middle of Mount Fay that you have to get up into Brightvein to get. It's at the top of Bright Vein. That's 2 of them. 1 is the reward for killing 10 void masses, I think. And then the last one... Let's see, that's 2 rewards, 1 Bright Vein. I don't think, no, because that was my 9th mask, was the lava escape. I put it off specifically because I'm like, that's a scary one. I don't know about that. I don't think Pinterest gives it. I don't think Pinterest gives it to you. It is the racing guide. Thank you, Al. So it is East Farfield. I had the right area. So yeah, there's only 4. And I know because I was routing. I was like pouring over the map like, oh gosh, I need to get, where am I? Okay, so hang on. Let's say that I skip 4 masks before chapter 3. Which 4 shards am I gonna skip? Obviously the lava climb. Bile water's out. Other bile water is out. I think there were 2 in bile water. And I was like, no and no. Oh, and the Beastfly refight, I think, was a mask shard, maybe. That was something. And I was like, nope, not doing that one. That was a scary fight. I almost lost the run on that guy. The closest I came to losing the run, weirdly enough, was getting the Volt Vessels up in Memoriam. I didn't respect the enemies, and they just about clobbered me. Okay, so we got it. This is working now. It's not done. Actually, there's 2 things here. One, I noticed that when I press spacebar to enter this, it's bringing up the next menu, but there should be a delay here before this happens. 7 hours in. I had already gotten the speedrun achievement for 100% in Silksong before I started the Steel Soul, I think. So I already had a pretty good idea of where I was going, and I think the whole Steel Heart run was over in like 5 hours or so. Like, it's surprising. Because it was so fresh in my mind. Because I'd played through the game. I did a second file for 100%, I think. Then I did a regular speed run. And then I think I extended that run to go all the way into 100%. Surely no, there's no way that was 5 hours, is it? I don't remember. Reading and trying to understand. Yeah. Like, I figure if I were to do it, if I were to do Steel Heart, I would probably want to do a few run-throughs just to get acquainted to the physics and also remember where everything is. 5 hours is the any percent achievement. Did I maybe post? Let me scroll up to back when I was playing Silksong. Steel Soul was done, but then that wasn't Steel Heart. Oh no, there it is. No, I don't have the time posted. So who knows? Who knows? Man, Silksong was so good. I uninstalled the game just to keep me from being like, oh, I'll just do one more run.
The world may never know.
So true, so true. All right, so now let's make a little change to how menus work, right? on the base menu. That could be pretty nice, just to say, like, every menu has a lock timer. Is locked. So is locked tracks like whether or not you can press any buttons on that menu. I think the easiest way to mark this, to get this to work, is to have a unlocked timer. If it's unlocked, then unlock timer plus equals delta. And if it is locked, then set it to 0. And we're gonna say all of this stuff that we do, handling the inputs, we're gonna say don't handle any inputs until we've had 1/10 of a second of the menu being unlocked. And I think this is gonna help. It better help. Oh, Huh. Okay, go slow-mo. That's not slow-mo. Oh, slow-mo doesn't affect this. Enemy scenes. Module list. Huh. Well, it did block that at least. Okay, so I guess we can reduce this further to like a frame. Or just very short. I just want to intercept that initial frame where we've just unlocked it. There we go, to make sure that it doesn't count that initial press. So, long-term plans for this. I want to spruce up this stuff. I want to drop these icons. We're going to have, like, cassette tapes. It's either going to be cassette tapes or vinyl records, and I'm leaning towards cassette tapes. There's gonna be little cassette tape icons for each of these. Hoi! Hoi! Hi, Fanny. Yeah, this is good. This is good. That was my Songclave caretaker impression that everybody loves. I can't see Hoi without thinking of that guy, because he just keeps saying it until you talk to him, and you're over there like trying to adjust your stuff at the bench or check the quest board, and he's just Hoi, 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 Hoi. It's the best. Okay, so these icons are gonna get replaced with like a little cassette. I want to group it by chapter. So like all the chapter 1 stuff, just like this, and the boss theme. Well, maybe not the boss theme. Maybe boss themes will be their own cassette color. But like, you get what I mean. Like it'll have some kind of visual representation that it's part of a different thing. I want to have like a little cassette icon here. That, I don't know, maybe it's like album art, and we do a little doodle for every chapter, but that's not going to be until the game is like done. And it also needs to animate while the demo is playing. Maybe we divide this right section up into 2 blocks. One showing detail of the selected item, title, composer. I don't know what. I don't know if there's anything else. Copyright? Do we want to put like copyright information to make it more legit? But then below that, have the now playing. I was thinking of like lore, you know, like dip a little lore in here. Possibly even having like each track gets a different partner's take on it. Someone dancing. The dancing bird. Something I need to consider. Do I want to allow the music to keep playing when you unpause? Like, you want to like switch on the radio while you're exploring. I was thinking it was going to be like the cassette spinning, like the little tape going across, do a little tape animation, just to show like that it is playing, and then as you're looking at other things, it still has what you have selected playing, just so you've got that on lockdown, so you know what's currently going. Like, what if we didn't end the demo when you unpause, and you just change the music of the area? When do we... See, that doesn't work, because some of this music doesn't repeat. Like this one. That's just like... That just goes for a bit. Wait a second. What's going on here? What was that? Uh-oh. Rumble strength. No, all of these are clickable. Just the sliders. The sliders should not be clickable. That's not supposed to happen. Yeah, because one of them is being managed by the actual engine I built, and one of them is being focused by the mouse. Oh, I think it might be time. Oh, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. It did, in fact, go a little wonky. Okay, so we need to fix that. Definitely. Uh-oh. Well, that's a problem. I know why that one happened. I know why that one happened. Double selection. Alright, I think I'm just not getting a response back, but I think, yeah, I'll be back. Hey look, I win. What if? What if? I win. Neat. You guys get back on board. I want everyone back on base as quickly as possible. Return. This is it. Fire everything at the enemy shields. We did it! Woo! Next time. Next time, I might not bounce off a fish. Oh, almost bounced off a fish. Don't do anything, don't do anything, don't do anything. Oh, I was not sure about that. I was not sure about that lava level. But also the clock. There was a lot of scary. Let's go. Okay. We're so back. All right, let's fix this menu issue. So the problem here. I'm loading the menu back. I pressed C, but OBS had focus, so it jumped to the first scene starting with the letter C, which was apparently channel logo, which I've never even used that scene. Let's walk down memory lane. What are these scenes? ROM hack races. Wow. Raid welcome, I remember that one. The theater for the watch parties, remember? I'm not gonna click that one. Who knows what would happen? The Owl Quest intro scene. It's a good one. The Iron Sworn scene? Would that even still work? There it is. That's basically it. Just remember Dobbs Quest? I remember. The raid pop-up hasn't worked in a while. No, we're not talking about the same thing. We're definitely not talking about the same thing. This is the raid welcome scene. All right, so right here, what's making this menu appear? Or more accurately, it's not disappearing, right? Yeah, and that's because I switched over to integrated Twitch alerts. Have less stuff running on my PC. Yeah, so this is still visible when I switch. So if I do this now, oh, okay, see that on Switch closes it out. And that is what I want, isn't it? So that's got to be happening on the pause menu, I assume. Databank? Databank menu on Switch tabs. Okay, here we go. Ah. Lock all menus. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Let's do that. For menu. Switch tabs. Subpage. Scanlog. Scanlog. Scanlog is a subpage. Okay. So for A in subpage list, and for A in submenu list. All right, for the pages, remove visibility. For the menus, lock them. That should do it. There we go. So now it brings us back to the main data bank. You can also get there by pressing cancel. Okay. Cool. I switched to a data-driven set of databank items, specifically because that makes it easier to keep things consistent. So now each one defines a title, you know, what shows up in the big button, what page appears, what menu appears. These have to be a little bit manually handled, but that's fine. And then whether or not the name is visible and whether or not it's enabled. So for instance, the list of modules, once you get a module, you can see that there is now an option that says modules, and you can look at it. Versus recipes, which you can see that there's a tab called recipes once you either have found one, or if you just do the quest to get the blender. Once you do the quest to get the blender, you will see a tab called recipes, but you can only go into it if you have cooked at least one recipe. As you know, something even just like giving the bartender a single strawberry, that counts, that unlocks that tab so that you can look and that lets you see like, oh, that's how many recipes there are in this game. Yikes. Music, I don't know. We're gonna come up with a thing for that. For now, sure, go nuts. You can see it, but we're not gonna let you actually see the music unless it has been revealed. And I guess we're gonna enable it. Sure. The Pib is back for a limited time. Double Pib and Lizard and Posy. Posy, you're breaking the train tracks. I know a child that's not going to be happy about that. Well, in Posy's defense, this room is a landmine right now. There are Legos, there are Duplos, there are magnet tiles. I don't even know what else. Then there's just the usual clutter along the edges. The perimeter clutter my brain can deal with. But the rest of this, you have to navigate. Hovercat did make the train track. She did a good job too. The Lost Cereal of El Dorado. Okay, so now we go to music. There we go. So it should only show you the ones that you have actually heard. So if I warp to here, boom. Now we have multiple tracks listed. So it works. Oh, wait. That's not supposed to happen unless it's revealed. Unless it's actually selectable. So let's fix that. Do you need me to build the barrier? Okay. Let's see here. We want this to be selectable. Wait. No. Yeah, I only want to do this text stuff. It's gonna be the same as recipes of being like undiscovered. Undiscovered. But only if text. Only if it's not revealed. Like, I guess as long as it's listed. So does this work? As long as it's been heard. As long as you've heard the song. Oops. Cozy, please. There we go. Good, 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 good. All right, we got it. Like I said, there's still some polish that this could get, but for now, it's pretty good. And I think the more databanks, the better. Like, more things you can learn about the world. I want to do a map, of course, at some point. I don't know how to do it. So, Thousand Year Door had an interesting one. I want to see if I can see one that actually has the UI on it. But I'm not seeing one. Dang. No such luck. So let me see if I can. No, that's a tiny, tiny one. Is this better? 64512. No, no, no. Oh, here we go. Big, big. Okay, that's definitely not what it looked like. They took some artistic liberties. That's not it either, exactly. Where's this? Okay, hang on. Hang on. I got it. I got it. Spriter's resource. Spriter's resource. TTYD. Map. Map. World map. Here we go. The original file. That's what we want. All right. So TTYD had this world map, and it was noteworthy because it was like a MacGuffin in of itself. It was like the magical map. This is how you know where to go to the next place. So they put some effort into it and made it very fun, and it kind of does little pop-up effects when you unlock new areas. But when you're viewing it in the pause menu, it actually has little dots connecting the areas to show which areas are actually connected. And you can sort of drag around the map and like select areas, and then hovering over the different dots would reveal completion percentage for two specific, occasionally annoying to find item coupon things. The star pieces and the shine sprites. It wasn't one-to-one with a scene. For instance, you know, this room is one scene, but it is one of 5 rooms that I classify as like the tutorial zone. Here, let's get back to regular. So, for instance, it would have one for all of the Rogueport surface, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 different scenes up here. And I want to say Bogley Woods just had two or three dots, like the woods, Flurry's house, and the tree, and that was it. And so all of the little collectibles in there would be consolidated under each of those 3 areas. So it still was a lot of sniffing around to try and find the items, but... Meanwhile, Bug Fables. Bug Fables had a fun one. It was not quite so animated, but it similarly had the same sort of... Oops, lost it. Same sort of like, here's a quick overview, and I think there were little dots connecting different things to show, like, oh yeah, the ant kingdom, the bee kingdom, the termite kingdom, the wasp kingdom. Yeah. Looking around, sorry. Oh, thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Yeah, so it's going to be something kind of like these. This is extremely stylized. It looks cool, probably beyond my abilities, being not like a full-time artist. Not even a part-time artist. I just kind of do art as part of the game building stuff. But this is such a striking little composition here. I love it. It's very cool. But we can't really make the world map until we have all the areas laid out. And we have like the hub and 3 areas laid out. So we're not quite there. The tricky thing on a map... Yeah, we need the world before we can make the world map. The tricky thing is that you tip your hand. Like, as soon as I show you this map, you're like, okay, well, I'm guessing we're going to an island at some point, and train tracks to a city. I guess we're going to go to that city, and this city over here, and this city over here. And you might start to make other assumptions as well. Like, they kind of pull a fast one in that Chapter 3 takes place at a, like, floating city that's not on the map initially. But, like, you know what I mean? You don't want to put extra details on the map, because then the players are going to be like, why didn't I get to go to that place that you showed on the map? But as soon as you put things on the map, then you're telling the player you're going to go here. So what you want to do is Fog of War, right? You probably want to do Fog of War. DLC, now we're talking. Just make it all DLC. Every chapter is its own DLC. That would be pretty hilarious. Just break the game up into like 8 pieces, charge like $2 a pop. Only play for what you need. That would be horrible. That's a horrible design. I would hate that. That would ruin any goodwill. I would rather just charge less than the total for that overall. It'd be like putting quarters in the arcade machine, you know? Except it's gonna be for like a 20-hour video game. Okay, I think the idea with World Map is you want to do Fog of War, which we can do in Engine. We can just have little segments at a big graveyard and never address it. I haven't told you about the plans for the graveyard in Chapter 3 that nothing is going to happen at. I just want an eerie graveyard where there's no music. But if you go there on like a specific day during a specific time, there's just like very faint music going on. I know. It's not going to be a big graveyard. Just a little world building. I feel like that's something I have on the list for chapter 3. I don't know if it'll make the cut or not, but it feels appropriate for a Wild West town to have a graveyard. No, nothing humorous at all. Just unsettling. It's just a graveyard. And you're like, oh gosh, what's that going to be for? And we just never address it. Okay, do we do a world map now? Do we want to try it? Not like a finished world map, but just like a placeholder world map. Just so we can do the coding for a world map. Or, okay, world map or new character. New NPC that I need to draw. What? Dang it, Mac. Yes, it's a possum. But he's not going to be creepy looking. But yes, everybody's just guessing things. How dare you all? All right, world map or possum? What do we want? What do we want to do? What do we want to work on? Either way, we're drawing. Either way, we are drawing. So I can get ready for that. It is something different. I decided Possum is going to be the leader of the desert expedition that Clyde and Dale have been hired onto. All right, I want this to be pretty easy for me to switch over for when we get the actual world map in place. I don't want to have to move around a lot of stuff. So I think that means if we are moving things around, it needs to be not doing it through data, doing it through the GUI. Map size. Well, I mean, we got the size of this, right? What's the width on this image? 621. That's a pretty small image. I'd like it to be a little bit cleaner. Very gooey. Goopsters. Let's do 800, 600? Or do I want to aim for like... Here, I got an idea. Pull up the pause menu. And let's see how big... Let's see how big this would be. Oh, I was thinking of adding more hotkeys for quick switching to individual tabs. That would be a really nice quality of life. But I need to be careful about that because we don't know what kind of controller the user is going to have. As it stands, you could play this with an SNES controller, and it would kind of suck, but it would work. If I assume that you have a joystick and a D-pad, I could use the D-pad directions as quick entry into pause menu tabs, at least 4 of them, not all of them. So let's see here. If we put a world map on here, like we could fill in like a segment of this and then have details off to the side when you hover over different areas. So we want something about, you know, yay big. So let's see here. Pull up paint. Let's say, you know, let the tab spill over a bit. So about this big. 900 by 600? Yeah, so that we get a little bit of margin. That's a nice round number. Let's say 900 by 600. I think that sounds great. Man. I don't want to get this to be too on the nose and letting you guys know what things are actually going to look like in the world. But we'll make it at least kind of pretty nice, you know? First we get a nice sepia tone, right? Nice sepia. I don't know nothing about nothing. Next, a little bit of texture, because I guess we're going with actual world map style, you know, like actual mappy map. Oh, I don't know what that line is. I don't know what happened there. I don't know anything. I don't know nothing. Okay, that's nice and textury. Cool, that's what I wanted. Reduce opacity. Then another one, but smaller. All right, stop that. Whatever you're just doing there. Looks pretty cool. Okay, cool. Put that in a group. And now actual land masses and stuff. Actually, I would like to duplicate this and reduce its opacity so that whatever we draw will get a natural tint of parchmentiness. Okay. So overall, we have kind of art style here, kind of paint. How's that? That's pretty cool. All right, we have the city, right? Birdtown Canopy has a good view of the city from a distance. So we've got kind of that look. Oh, also hub. Okay, that's probably the best view we're gonna get right here. Is that we have like the big factory looking thing going on. So let's make big old factory. Okay, now we can zoom in and get some detail in here. Now that we know roughly the size, right? I should not be spending much time on this, but here we are. Sure. Great. Love it. Unnecessarily detailed. Then we have two major areas over here. The tree is more of like no, we'll do like this kind of tree. We got the jungle. Yeah, it looks like a forest or a jungle of some description. Bird Town is up here. Great. Looks incredible. The power station. Chapter 2 dungeon. I never really came up with a shape for what it actually looks like. It's got a glass ceiling, though. I know that much at least. With like a dome. So let's just focus on that. No, I guess I should do it more from the side, right? Like, there's a river running through here and some waterfalls. Don't want to forget those. This is going to get cut off a bit. That's all right. River is flowing through there somewhere. Who knows what's over here? It's a mystery. Frogtown and the Snail Fort is over here. So we need the Snail Fort. With the little watchtowers. Little bridge. River flows. Frogtown is here. So we're gonna put some happy little houses. Next to the river. A few little trees. The caves need to be up here. Don't know exactly how to draw a rock, so who knows? Waterfall. More trees. Windmill. Shipping containers. I guess. Old factory stuff here. Okay, there we go. There's chapter 1 and chapter 2, and they're very poorly scaled, considering I've got to somehow fit the entire game in here. But this is the idea. Way too much time on that. We're going to put that under UI. Map. Okay, temporarily move this out of the way so we can program a little bit with that. Ah, man. That was too much tiny detail, especially for what we're doing here. Okay. Oh, and there's also going to need to be some way that we can link the map to which area you are in the world. That'll be an interesting one. That won't be too bad. All right, so databank. This will be a new scene here. But a weird one. Map. No menu. There will be some kind of data here. So add a texture rect. Where is that gonna go? Menus or texture? Let's put it in pause menu. Let's add a new folder in there for map. We'll probably want to have some kind of little icon, special map icon textures. You know, the usual. There it is. Okay, so that does need to be a little bit more there. Additionally, we're going to do clipping. Cool. Probably would have been nicer to get a bit more of a... Nah, that's fine. Some kind of a little bit more border going on here. Probably can. No, don't bother. We can add it in post or something. All right, so there's the idea. Now that has no map scrolling, which is probably okay. Whole thing needs to be, yeah, there we go. I don't know if we want map scrolling or not. Also, we'll probably want color on this, on the world map. But it's good enough for now. So we're gonna need a series of map icons. Okay, so an area gets viewed, and that's what triggers being able to see it. So we're gonna need to have some kind of like visited scenes list. That's easy enough. Game Manager, in the same way that I keep track of which songs you have heard, and which songs you've collected. Let's have a visited scenes. And this will just be a list of the keys into the scenes, minus the entry code. So Scene Manager. When you load a room, fade to new room with entry code. Entry code. What kind of O2 / power station exterior? So yeah, everything before that. So I want to have game manager.stats. Visited scenes, append room key is this, append room key if room key doesn't already have this. There we go. And that's going to keep track of the rooms that we visited. Okay, let's say, let's fast forward like 6 years and say that there's like a randomizer mod and everything for this that I build myself because I just want to. If you somehow access the tutorial zone, or let's say you access North Frogtown but not South Frogtown, or just one or the other, both of those should count for having the icon of Frogtown is here. Now, I have in the debug menu, I think it is. No? Not the debug menu. Where's the warp stuff? Warp directory. Here we go. Warp directory has a list of room codes organized by chapter. So I could also append to each of these room codes. Each one gets its own map key indicating where it belongs on the map, so that when you are in that room, that is what it shows as your current location on the map. That's doable. That's doable. Yes, I see. The prologue ones are not. Yeah, so yeah, these are already objects, dictionaries. So it would not be hard at all to add a little bit to that that says, well, this is part of category whatever. So do I need to keep track of all of the rooms I've been in, or just the categories? I guess maybe it would be useful to know what rooms the player has been in at some point. I can't. We can always go back and make some changes if we need to. So yeah, why not? Why not? Let's get things looking messy here. There's a way to do this with regular expression, but we're not going to. Okay. And now we need to copy these keys over. All right, so now let's start categorizing. I would love to see how Frogtown. I'd love to see how TTYD's world map interface works. Is there any good? Like, there's no way that. Yeah, this is just a bunch of. Oh gosh, jeez, that scared me. Cork, give me a heart attack. Walk. Yeah, I sure hope he does. Hi, Cork. Welcome in. How is Crash Team Racing? It's like the last thing I would have thought that you were playing. Is that? Welcome in, everyone, from Cork's channel. I'm Dobbs. I make video games. Sorry. We're making a world map. Well, not like a final one. I've got a placeholder map, and now we're going to kind of write some code around it, and then later it can be used for real stuff, I guess, or something. There it is. Chapter 1 zone, Chapter 2 zone, 3's over here. 4 is going to be up here. 5 and 6 could wind up getting swapped around. One of them is definitely going to be down here, and I guess the other one's going to have to go up here. There we go. All solved. Hope your stream as well, Quark. Oh, he's too slow. He's too slow. I guess these things happen. Oh, okay. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna have a node representing map data. Okay, got it? Got it. Cool. Each of those, a super cursed skip. Uh-oh. That does sound particularly cursed. Man, I feel like it does, doesn't it? No, check it out. It totally does. That's not just me being bad at drawing the map. It actually does kind of look like a Furby. Just a really weirdly proportioned Furby. Horse. But yeah. Furby map. Furby map is coming. Okay, so I think we have a series of nodes representing areas. So let's do that here. We're gonna call this map area node. A map area node will consist of a little bit of art, sprite 2D. Circle? Circle is fine. That's going to go in the pause menu folder that we made specifically for the map. Boom. Map area node. I'm going to plop one of these in here. And you can see it's a little bit big. We're gonna adjust that a bit. We'll adjust that just a smidgen. Is that about right? A little smaller, let's do a nice even 0.3, and then also we're gonna duplicate this node, nest it, and we're gonna do this. Oh, everybody's favorite. Modulation. That and that. Boom. Map node. And the color is not quite there, is it? Out of bounds skip. Uh-oh. Already good start. It really feels like that's just how a lot of racing speedruns go, huh? It's like, all right, get out of bounds without the game recognizing that you got out of bounds. And then this color, I guess we mostly want it to be like this. Oops. Cancel. Edible children. I've never used load as placeholder. Is that useful? What would I use that for? Okay, so something like that to indicate like, hey, that's a place. That's a place that exists. Map area node needs a script also where we indicate the category name as well as a list of linked nodes. Yeah, I think that's array of node 2D. Specifically, it's an array of other map area nodes. And linking them will draw little dashed lines between them, ideally. That's what we want. Continuous progress instead of checkpoints. I guess that makes sense. I made a racing game a while back. I never made it publicly available. Dupu was in it. Do you guys know that? Dupu was in a racing game? It was a project for learning 3D stuff in Godot. And you know what? It worked out all right. You want to play this racing game? I bet you do. Unfortunately, it is not possible to play it for anyone except for me. Only I get to play it. Let's see here. Do we have that? Let's see. If I have access to my own videos, because I bet I do. there's dog.m4a. Oh, here we go. This is the one. I'm gonna play it just so you guys get to wonder what it would be like to play it. Do a little in private browsing there just to be safe. I don't want you knowing. Oh geez, that's loud. I don't want you knowing what I get recommended. Here we go. This was also me learning Blender for the first time, and that shows. There he is! There he is! Mom, get the camera! Oh, I love the little bloom, the little redwood forest. Why did I make a redwood forest? What's the theming there? Why did I make a desert? I guess it just goes to show that I just like making deserts. We had the traditional Dava World style area. We had the Hovercat kitchen level. There were only four maps. Dupu in a teacup. There was support for some items. Maybe that's it. I love this scene of Turtle being followed by 12 GQs. There was even a very rudimentary AI for the bots. I thought it was actually pretty clever. The idea was I would do a lap in the race. And it would record my position as I progressed through the track. And then I would export those locations as data for the bots to follow. What they would do is it would create a spherical zone around each of those points. And as soon as it entered the most forward of those points, whichever the most forward of those points it was in at the time, it would steer to make sure it was heading towards the point that comes after that. And unfortunately, the effect is that they're very centered on that. There's no smoothing, so they're just like... and they'd bunch up a lot, but it was fine. It worked out all right. Yeah, that was the idea. It was just kind of like going towards the next target, and it was good enough. Like all those captured footage things, no one was playing. Well, on a few of them I was playing, but for the most part, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we had the dabble level. Hovercat Kitchen was a level. Redwood Forest by a cliffside drive and a lighthouse for some reason. I don't know what I was going. I was like, I don't know, redwood trees. I need to learn geometry nodes in Blender, so we're making redwood trees. And then, of course, here's a desert environment because deserts look cool, and I can model a cactus or something. I don't know. I modeled a Dupu, modeled Germ Dove and GQ and a turtle and an owl. Official owl art. Can't find that anywhere else. That's the true reason to get into game development, is you can make video games about all your friends, and they just have to like smile politely, like, oh, thanks. Oh, that's really cool. Thank you. All right. So the idea is that we're gonna have a series of map area nodes. I'm gonna name them after whatever they are, whatever category they are. I don't think I want to go off of the node name. I think having it, even though that does feel like repeated data with the category name being an exported variable, we're just gonna roll with it though. Okay. The drain pipe connects to the city infrastructure. That's a tricky one. Oh, geez. That does sound like a challenge. Okay, so we're gonna say that infrastructure is linked to drain pipe. We're not gonna say that we have to two-way it. It's gonna automatically link those if they're not already both going both ways. You decided to make a, oh yeah, see, that's where it gets tricky, isn't it? Very few games have I bothered making anything beyond very simple behavior for enemies. Like systems where you feel like it's the type of game where it's like a versus game, and I'm basically programming something to play the game against you, such as a racing game. Like that technically the computer players in Dabblecart had access to the same controls the player does. Steer left, steer right, go forward. And they got stuck a lot, but it was fine. It was fun. What is this first area out here called? Road 1. I don't know. This is Industrial Road. You know what? That's a good strategy. That's what I would do. What is this old this Industrial Road? I've been calling it Industrial Road, but that doesn't sound good. It's like an old construction site. Let's just call it construction site. Oh, they never missed. Well, there you go. And then construction site is going to be linked to infrastructure because that's how you get there. Okay, what do we want to proceed with? I want to do movement on the map, like showing, like you press a direction to like select the next dot so that you can view details about the area. And we'll probably do that by sort of projecting your input vector from the node you're on and find the closest linked node to that. But also it has to be within 60 degrees. So not only is it the closest, but it has to be, well, no, we could just calculate the angle of each one, right? And then see which one is the closest overall. And then we have to do like, yeah, what if you're at 359 degrees? Well, technically it's only 1 degree away. We'll figure that part out. Let's start with drawing connections. Let's draw some connections between points on the map. I'm worried at some point we are going to want to have the map bigger than the area and it kind of slides along behind here, in which case we actually want to parent this to texture rect so that texture rect can sort of move around as we highlight different areas up to certain boundaries. So let's just think ahead there. Okay, that seems fine. Yeah. I think we want to build our own map handler here. And the data bank that runs the map will do its own setup. Setup map. It's going to do its own. It doesn't have to do any setup, does it? It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to run its own processing, though. How does that work? Because it should only do that if the map is selected. How do we determine that? If map... how do we do that? If map is visible. There we go. So the sub page for map is not this. It is this right here. So map page. In our data for the pages. Save that. Okay, map subpage. All these cases where I do something with submenu, I mean to make sure if not menu, continue. That's what they say. If map page is visible, then run whatever our map logic is. Call that map handler. Such a power nerd. Dupu! You just missed you. Look, Tomar, it's you. Run map logic. Poo-poo? There we go. This might already work. I don't know. We go back to databank and we say that map is now always available. expect us to be working on the maps. But whatever. Alright. And we fail because submenu doesn't exist. Yep, submenu doesn't exist. So this needs to be if that exists, then continue. And that needs to be if that exists, then continue. There's probably a few others. Alligator, he's back there. Look at these dapper fellows. All with no behavior assigned to them. Just kind of sitting around. Who wants to go to the saloon to have a dance? Everybody ready? Let's dance. Woo, 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 woo. They're line dancing, you see. I did, with some caveats. I need to fix that issue with the lurping. The slurping needs to be better. Wait, I needed that. I needed that game open. I was working on that. Okay. That's a good start. And yes, cool. Good. Map handler works. Next, we need to ready up. So the map handler has a series of subnodes representing individual locations, categories. For child in Get Children. We are going to say that we need to check the linked nodes. So we have linked nodes in each child. And then we need to say for link in links. So that is jumping over to a different one of these children. So we'll say linked child. If linked child does not have linked child dot linked nodes does not have the child itself, then we need to add it. And then we need to do another pass to create the little dashed lines, but only once for each. And that's doable. That's super doable. If linked node has the child, does not have the child, then add it. Linked child dot linked nodes append child. Okay, so now all the links are two ways. We've just done that. Next up, we need to draw the dashed lines. Make a path? Make a path 2D and then sprinkle in some path follows at that seems dumb. That's obviously not it. The thing is, it's a secret thing. It's not that secret. It was a dumb gag that somebody made me do while we were doing the Silk Song playthrough. And it makes sense to pretty much no one. There's someone else doing a Silk Song playthrough. Adidas. That is her avatar superimposed over Hornet doing a little slippy dance. I mean, making a suggestion that's so dumb. It is, yeah. Her avatar's from web fishing. And so I took the Hornet dancing gif, which was originally in the background while I was playing Silksong, and I split it open and pasted her avatar face onto every frame of the gif and resaved it. And now she's haunting us until she beats Silksong. And if she doesn't notice it by then, I'm going to reveal it to her after she beats Silksong. Once it's too late for her to get any use out of it on her own channel. I actually made her add the Hornet dancing gif at 1% opacity to her stream, and that was so dumb. Because every time she would change into a new area, the screen would fade to black, and there'd just be a brief moment where that's all you could see, just lingering in the darkness. Perfect. All right. While we're doing this, let's have let's build a variable called connections. And for each link, if well, let's see here. Connection exists equals connections filter that doesn't work. I need a two. Is it gonna be an array of arrays rather than a dictionary? I think that'd be fine. Sure, A0 A0 equals child and A1 equals links or linked child, or the opposite. So that way we're finding just one way or the other. Either one is fine. And instead of filter, do .any. All right, so if not connection exists, then append child, link child. There we go. Okay, so we now have an array called connections, which is once per two-directional link. Path? Really? Is that really how you want to do it? That's a way to do it. Let's also have map nodes as an array that we're going to keep track of these so that we can add new children to it later. So after that's done, for connection in connections, we're going to start adding new nodes. We need a new type of node, which is going to be the map area node, but smaller, basically. Map area dot. Or no, let's just call it map dot. Avoid the node. All right, you got a genuine chuckle out of me. All right. He did it, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. That's gonna be our dot. He did it! Good job. We're all so proud of you. Ah, alligator jump scare. Get him out of here. So like, count how far it is. Split it into whatever the closest is based on the distance. And then just chop it up. And then put that many dots in between. Right? Right. Easy. Map dot. Bring it in here. So a connection is a connection between two nodes. Let's say, let's have this. Let's have target dot distance. So we're gonna get as close as we can, either going over or not quite to whatever we happen to code first. It doesn't matter. Target dot distance, 30 pixels. What does that look like? What is 30 pixels? That seems reasonable, 30 pixels. We might go lower, we might go higher. All right, so we have a connection. We have node A and node B that we are connecting. The distance between them is node A dot position dot distance to node B dot position. Did somebody say 30 pickles? Not now, 30 Pickle Pete. Oh man. Go hang out with Diagonal Dave and all your other alliterative friends. This is top tier bit. Top tier bit. I don't remember how it came up, Al, but we had the 3D Al. 3D Al was discussed. What was that? It was one of these, right? No. Anyway, I'm sure it was really good. I'm sure it was really cool. Oh, definitely. I don't know where those 3D models are, actually. I don't know where I put those. Just lost forever. Oh. Is that them? No. No. Track scenes, hilarious. See, I thought this would be where it was, but apparently not. I'm just looking in folders here. Scripts. It's not in models. Physical materials. Prefabs. Why did I call it prefabs? But that's it. That's where he is. Oh. There he is. It's him. It's him. It's everyone's favorite friendly racer in Dabble Cart. Who else did we have? Was this the same Dupu that was used in the... It's similar. It's definitely like the base that was used. Oh, this one. A little something for GQ. It's just a box. It was some kind of Pikachu, yeah. It's him. We also got to see my favorite scene from the trailer video. Oh gosh. I guess I had to make him grab the steering wheel somehow. My favorite scene is Turtle being pursued by like 12 GQs. Alright, how bad is this gonna be? You know what? That's not too bad. That's not too bad, all things considered. Finger guns. Ayy. Ayy. Horror game where GQ chases you. Perfect. Dabble 64 is real. Anyway, there we go. No legs and I must yelp. Hey. All right, num connections. We're gonna take the total distance. We're gonna divide it by our target dot distance, and that's gonna give us something close. We're gonna floor it. Floor it. And then we're gonna loop over that for I in range num connections. Except we're gonna start at 1, right? Yeah, because if there's like, if we decide that it's 90 units away, then we want one at 30 and one at 60. So we take that 90, we divide it by 3, we get 3. We only need this starting with the second. So yeah, so that's the idea there. The position is going to be a vector 2. We can lerp this, right? We can do node A dot position. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing node A, let's do position A and position B, because we don't actually need the actual nodes anywhere. Just the positions. Position A dot lerp. Is that how vectors work? Is that how vectors work? Lerp to a vector. Go towards position B, ratio of I 1.0 times I divided by number of connections. I'm not sure if I can put any more cats in the game. That's the tricky thing. I feel like every time that we have a partner, they need to be the only one of that partner, unless it's plot relevant for some reason for there to be a lot of them. And there will be for one partner, and it is relevant because there's a dumb joke that I'm gonna make. So when you have a mole partner, you can't really have a bunch of other mole NPCs running around. There's not a specific reason for that rule, it just feels right. It makes your character special. Unlike Goombella and Koops and Bobbery. Okay, so and Miss Mouse. Don't worry about it. All right, we're gonna make our new map dot equals map dot dot instantiate. We're gonna say map dot, we're gonna add child map dot, and then we're going to say map dot dot position equals pause, and that should be it. We're gonna try it. Cross your fingers. I want to see some map dots. I see some map dots. I don't see any map dots here, probably because they're too close. That's good. That's good. Okay, so I think I need the dots to be smaller. And maybe also... Oops, I left test up. And maybe also... Let's get a little bit of this here. Ah, no, no, please. Okay, and then scale this down further. I think that would be good. Okay, that didn't actually reload. Also, I think we want, instead of 30, let's go 25, now that we've made it smaller. Okay, the vision, the vision. Okay, 25 wasn't enough. Go 15. Come on, I want to see some dots. More dots, more dots. There we go. Oh, now it's too close to that. We need to, instead of add child, we want to add child at index 0. I think. Add child does take a, add child. Isn't there like a add child, or insert child or something like that? Add child. I'm sure there was. Set. Okay, hold on. Godot, add child at index. Add child below node? That doesn't sound like a thing that exists. Looking for something more recent, something for Godot 4, because I bet a lot of these are... Move child. Ah, that's it. That's it. Okay. 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 I mean, it might be easier just to change the end. No, that's fine. Let's just move child. Move child to 0 every time we make one of these. Every time we make one. Put it at the top. All right. Let's see if that looks a little bit better. It's all right. Throw child. Now I feel like it's too small. The little dots are too small. Or we just need to zoom in more with the art. And that's doable. That is doable, actually. We're allowed to do that. But we need it to be able to scroll within this container without exceeding the edges. How do you do that? It's like a scroll container thing, but I don't want the scroll bars to actually appear. I do. Do I still have that emote? I do. The child that GQ threw that one time. You know, everyone remembers that. So I could just say, I could just hard code in, do not ever go beyond whatever, but... All right, we'll deal with that another time. But it would look really good a little bit bigger, right? It'll make the world seem bigger if you can't see the whole map at once. So we'd have to scale this up. Like this. These little dots are all over the place now. So this center point probably needs to be a lot bigger when we actually build the map. Okay, so now you need to have a selected node. And this is where we have to know where in the world we are. And that part's gonna come later for us to know which map position we're actually at. Current node equals null. It's a node 2D. Default this for now to map nodes 0. Map nodes 0. Okay, map logic. Oh, we need something that's actually going... that's going to be a map node. Isn't it? Okay, I think we need to, unfortunately, add another node here. Map areas. Plop it in here. And now, instead of looking at get children, we need to look at areas. Dot get children. And then why not? Let's have dots be where we actually append these. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about draw order as much. And then we need a node 2D for cursor. What is our cursor going to look like? How about some rotating arrows? How about some rotating arrows? Everybody loves rotating arrows. Little triangles. Little triangle dealies. Pretty small. Also, let's flatten it a little bit. Or widen it. Yeah, let's flatten it. Then position it off to the side a bit. Make, oh yes, rotate, yes, move it in, delete, duplicate again, rotate 180 degrees, move it in, delete. I want to have a scaling system here. So we're gonna do, this is the rotator. These are all gonna exist within the rotator, and then the cursor is gonna be scaled down so that as the rotator rotates, you kind of see what I mean there, right? Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Okay, cursor's gonna have an animation player. Just gonna have a new animation autoplaying and looping. You're never gonna believe what it's gonna do to the rotator. Oh, you're never gonna believe it. It's gonna rotate it. All right, I spoiled it. I'm sorry. Okay, done. Cursor needs to be in the script. All right, cursor is always going to lerp towards the current node, if there is a current node. Then the cursor is going to lerp towards the current node position at a rate of, I don't know, like that-ish. Where is it that I've done delta? Okay, it's just, yeah, it's not great, but it works. We'll need to pass in delta. to the run map logic function from the databank. All right, we're not doing it in process because I don't want this to actually run every frame, and I don't want to be looking to see, is it time to run it? I'm just gonna call it when I need it. Okay, so that's just gonna be sitting there. Also, what if it pulsed a little bit? What if it pulsed just a little bit? So we'll just take this and like, just a little bit. Now we need it to be able to target. I need to get vector. I've got that example code all over the place, right? Yeah. Oh yes, and I need to recognize when you're holding down the input button. So we're going to increment our input timer. We're going to let that go up a little bit every time the process function is called. Zero it out when we actually accept an input. And then, okay, here's where it gets tricky. We know what our current connections are. And that is any map node connections. Where did we put that? Where did we put our connections? Why did we put it here? Why is that not up here? Oh, because we don't need that. We can just go to current node dot linked nodes. Okay, so we have our list of linked nodes that we could go to. We're going to iterate through those and find the angle of each. Okay. So let's just say links. For link in links, target pause versus current pause. That is current node. Just say if we don't have a current node, just get out of here. Don't need it. Current node dot position, and our target is link dot position. So from here, we're going to look at our angle. And we're going to compare that against our input vector. So the actual angle is start with the target position and subtract out current position. Get the angle of that, right? It's just, yeah, just angle. Oh, is it it's a function to call? I guess so. All right, we'll call it as a function. Get the angle. Now we want to compare that with the input vector angle. So we want the angle. Oh, I guess we want angle between, right? Vector 2.0. What's the? No, maybe. If you have a vector from. Let's just get the other angle. So we want to find the difference between these two angles. That is tricky already because, well, you don't know which way it's gonna go, and when you do absolute value, it gets silly. So we're gonna take this one, input.angle, And we're going to just subtract angle. Now we have a difference, but it could be something like 350 degrees, which should actually be considered 10. So how do we want to do that? Take the absolute value of it first. Make these variable names more useful. So now we have a number between 0 and 359. If it is greater than 180, radians. If the angle is greater than 180, then angle between is actually 2 times pi minus the angle. This should just be pi. Don't do 180. Use radians. Use radians like a big boy. Okay, so now we have the actual angle. If the angle is more than 90 degrees, I don't care. That's not a very good one then. Best link equals null. Best angle equals pi, no, 999.9. If the angle is less than our best angle thus far, then we have a new best angle, and that means we have a new best link as well. All right, so we get to the end of all this mess. If we have a best link at all, then that is where our current node is going to be moved to. Current node equals best link, and we're done. Did we do it? Is that everything? This is such a dumb little feature. No one's going to use this. No one is going to be using this. All right, scale this down so I can add some map. Construction zone, Frogtown. Frogtown's connected to the other place. So the construction zone. And then we have, this is going to be, I guess, Grass Lane. Casual named it Grass Lane. I don't love the name. They named the song that, but Casual didn't really name the place that. Caro Road. Riverside Trail. Riverside Trail sounds great. Let's go with that. This area is called Riverside Trail. It is connected to Frogtown. Then we have Caro Caves. That is Cannon. That is connected to Riverside Trail. Then we have the opposite side of the river, and that seems dumb to actually even include right now, so I'm just not going to include it. Snail Fort is the next one. Now, Snail Fort is interesting because it's connected to the caves, sort of, but it's also connected to Frogtown across the bridge. There we go. Okay, we have a good test. We have some good test data here. So let's load the game. Hello, Gator. He keeps showing up. The Gator keeps showing up. All right, pull up the pause menu. Go to the map. Is it just working? It's just working immediately. Like, no pomp, no circumstance. The map just works. I can just do this. Okay, cool. $90 feels too good, too open. Oh, Slav, I gotta level with you. It feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. That works. That just works. Oh, I didn't expect that to work on the first try. I love that. I love that it worked on the first try. I feel like these little points are going to need some color. The map is going to need more detail, but that's for another time. That's for like late in the process when we're actually like done with laying out everything. For now, geez, that's great. That's great. The lerp is a little bit slow, and also it needs a noise. So change that lerp rate to like a lot higher. Yeah, zip through. Zip, 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 zip. And also play a little noise. Use menu select whenever we move. Go. No, not menu select. Menu move, right? Menu dash move. Okay, that's the one. That's cool. That's cool. I love that. I love that that's a thing that works. Awesome. Fantastic. This may be too many map points for chapter 1. I don't know if I want to... That's probably fine. That seems reasonable. This area over here between these two may end up getting fleshed out a bit more later in the game. That's why I'm hesitant to go all in on building out this map for everything we have so far. It's gonna change. Like, I've left some places in the game specifically for where we can change it a bit later. Yeah, let's change the angle, the best angle. We want it to be better than pi over 3 even. Oh, it's still not... What? Pi over 3 is pretty sharp, right? Okay, there we go. Now left and right don't work. Right, pressing right here was actually going up because it was the best angle and it was slightly less than 90 degrees. Now that we're requiring 60 degrees or better, right doesn't do anything. You have to press up first. Okay, I want to try zooming in. I want to try zooming in a little bit here. So we want this to center, right? Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. So I want to move the texture itself such that the global position here lines up with the midpoint of the item backdrop. Can you get that? So this is a control node. Is there a way to get the center? I'm leaning towards probably not. Well, hang on. So I can get the current position. What does that get you? A vector 2, okay. And I've also got the size. So I can probably, at the very least, I can calculate it. I'm gonna want script. Here we go. So map handler. That does mean map handler needs to be aware of its parent. So probably didn't position this code right, but whatever. Don't worry about it. Ooh, yeah, this is gonna get a little bit weird. All the places that we're looking at position, I gotta be careful. So let's have a scroll map function that we just call whenever we can. And the way it works is... Oh, thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Oh, jeez, my back. We had a big tree branch fall in our yard yesterday, and I don't know if that's what I'm still feeling, but it's in there. There's something going on. All right, let's do move the texture rect so that its global, we can calculate its global center. So this would be map container panel. Container center. Global position. Let's see if there. Let's see. Godot. Control node. Center position. I want to get the center, right? Everybody's saying you gotta calculate it. All right. Gotta calculate it yourself. Take the global position. Add size over 2. No, we're not gonna be here for much longer, but thank you. Container center. Okay. I've got a feeling I'm gonna want delta here. A data tree. Is that a specific Godot thing, or do you just mean like just an array of data? I'm not familiar with that exactly. I like the angle calculation. Well, I mean, maybe data tree actually does what I need. What is a data tree? I'm gonna do a quick Google here. I have a lot about get tree stuff. Oh, like linked list. I mean, that's kind of what it is, but I'm doing it with Godot nodes. So these items are linked to each other if I so declare it so. Let me pull this back over. So I'm defining, hey, this node is linked to only this one. This one is linked to this, this, and this. And then that is what is actually defining where those smaller dots between the map points get drawn. The angle stuff that I was just doing a bit ago is to define if I'm pressing on my joystick, like I'm pressing like 2 o'clock on the joystick, you know, like 30 degrees north of east, then should that count for moving towards this node or this node if I'm pointing here? And the way I'm calculating that is angle based. It's like, okay, look at the 3 nodes that are connected to this one right here and find the one that has the shallowest angle to where I'm pointing. And as long as that is at most 60 degrees away from where I'm targeting, then yeah, go ahead and move the cursor there. Which I think is a pretty, it's a naive approach, but it's effective. There probably is a more efficient way you could do it, involving like caching out predefined angles for each node instead of calculating it on the fly. But I don't think you'd get... if you pre-baked it, and I just included the list of numbers in the code and it doesn't calculate it on the fly at all, that would definitely be more efficient until you have to change it. So much of the dumb stuff I do is because I'm looking ahead and being like, I'm gonna end up changing this later. Oh gosh, Posey, my headphones. Posey, get off my headphones. Oh, pull that. How did you get your foot around this? No, just lay there. Okay. Thanks, Posey. This poodle just plopped onto the headphones cord and just started snuggling up into it. And she's not a small dog. Okay. Scrolling the map. We know the container center. I know the current... Oh, you're digging in through the Legos. Why not? Just don't eat them. Map center is it's the same as this, right? And now we have an offset. We can move our map towards container center. Are we gonna do it by a lerp? Lerp or move toward? Let's do move toward. Jeez. It's like a bull in a china shop. Target offset. We want to move our map center towards our... No, wait. We want to move our cursor position, don't we? Wherever our cursor is. Okay, yeah. So we want to move the map such that the cursor moves towards the center. So if, for instance, our cursor is at, I know the global variables don't work this way, but let's say at 100, 100 is where the cursor is, and our container center is at 0, 0, we want to move -100, -100. So we want to move container center minus cursor center. That's the direction we want to go. So take our map position, move toward that position plus the offset, I guess. Do it by a speed of how many pixels per second? 100 pixels per second. There's no way this is gonna work, right? I mean, we did get a first try earlier, and I love seeing that happen. But I think we've exhausted our luck. First try? First try? The double first try? Okay, we need to add some boundaries, perhaps. Or we can extend the image so that it's just like a fog of war, cloudiness sort of thing. Oh, right, we were gonna do fog of war, weren't we? That won't be too hard, but that'll be for later. Okay, move toward probably needs to be... Maybe we can do lerp. Maybe we can do lerp instead. Let's see what that's gonna look like. I have no idea. Like that shouldn't have happened. Okay, cool. Actually, with the speed this is going, the lerp is barely necessary because it's just keeping up with the cursor. There we go. That's a little bit nicer. A little bit smoother. That's pretty slick. That's not bad at all. Okay, so the question is when you get to the edge of the map, do we want to just limit the scroll? Probably so. So let's take this. And then just cap it. If it's less than -500, then equals 500. Oh, and then it, oh. Did I say -5? Yeah, I did say -500, then jump to 500, which is wrong. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, 500 is a little bit much. So let's say 450. That looks nice and smooth to me. That's a good border. All right, now top. 128 is what we were at earlier. So if we're greater than 100, limit it to 100. Less than that. 50. 50. Ooh, close, close. 20. Oh wait, 0, of course. Because that's what... Because, yeah, that's what we started with. Yeah, okay. So left is probably also... Oh, we did 900 by 600, remember? Wait, 900 by 600, is that what it was? Yeah, 900 by 600. That's where the 450 comes from. It's just half. So now we can say 300 for this. And then 0 on the X. And we're done. There's our boundaries. Oh, that does help quite a bit to like make the world map feel a little bit bigger. It kind of makes me want to make the map larger still. Just so that there's more like a fuzzy border. And like the question of like, is there more out there? Maybe. So to future-proof that, let's take this and replace this 450 with the actual value. The music did a thing because I minimized it. There we go. There we go. This does almost everything we wanted to already. This is later going to include data about completion percentage, I guess. Like, oh, here's how many treasures are in that area, and here's how many you found. That kind of thing. And maybe, like, some kind of field notes written by, I don't know what character. Some in-game character could, like, write the field notes for each region after either once you get to the area or whatever, or after you beat the chapter, you unlock notes or something. I remember in Thousand Year Door, and I thought this was great in the remake, and I really appreciated it. After you 100%ed an area, you unlocked concept art for it, and that wasn't in the original game, so being such a fan of that, I really enjoyed it. Oh, there's no cancel. I can still do that, but we need a cancel button here. Yeah, normally we've got the cancel menu. Okay, so yeah, the only to-do item for this now is Fog of War. We don't want areas to be visible until you've seen them. I don't know exactly how we're going to do that. So cancel on this. That's going to be in the databank code. If map page visible, map handler, run map logic. Normally we've got our cancel setups somewhere. Cancel callback. Cancel callback. But this isn't a menu. This area is not a menu. So we want to include if input dot is action just pressed cancel, then do the same things we do on canceling a menu. Actually, all we need to do is this, right? Just that, and that should be enough. It's like, it's not pretty, it's not super extensible, but it's a one-off for the map. The map is going to be a really weird one out of all the, like, all these other things are basically, they jump into menus. But this map is like its own weird thing all to itself. I would like a cancel. I would like a cancel sound too. Base menu. It's just menu hyphen cancel, right? Yep. That's the key for it. All right. Wow. We have a map. A usable map. Problem is that it doesn't show you where you are. It needs to default to where you are. It needs to only show you the locations where you have access. So there's still pieces to be done on that for sure, but I'm very satisfied with the work we got done on that. To make sure that no one sees our shame, we're going to say not enabled. There we go. The map is buried deep within the vaults, and we never have to look at it again. What other things were we going to put in here? We were going to put side quests and I guess we can put like the MacGuffins that you've collected, like the big plot MacGuffins. There was one other thing. If I look back in my GitHub. I'll find it, but databank map. Okay. So that was not any progress towards chapter 3 completion. If we're being completely honest, I did that for fun. What are we going to go check out now? So next time we need to draw a new character. I love this. I love these little gator guys. Look at these little townsfolk. Oh, they look great. Oh man, big fan, big fan. Let's see here. Let's see if we got some Godoting happening elsewhere on the internet that we can go see. Oh man, we are the second most popular Godot stream tonight out of 8. Oh, I don't know what this is, but I like the look of it already. This is the stuff I want to see. This is the kind of Godot that I want to see. What do we got? English. Okay, good. Had to double check. Show me your game again. This is the kind of like, I want to see the dev art. Oh, did I mess with the microphone? Are we still good? Am I yelling? Am I yelling? The USB cord is very brittle. Let's see. Here we go, here we go. Oh wait, no, hang on, this looks way better than I thought. Crap. I wanted to see stuff that's like just, no, I'm not making any, I'm just going to, no, this actually looks good. Okay, that's, yeah, alright, that's really cool. What the crap? That's good. Alright.
Back to 0.
No, I like simple geometry. You guys remember Moon Rover? Maybe. Alright, let's check this out. I think this looks really cool.
How and why?
Simple geometry is underrated for game graphics. Like, looking at the background that this guy has created, it's so nice. And it's just basically slowly rotating squares of different colors. Love that. I love that. I can't get away with that in a game like this, but hey, Thursday, we're planning a bonus stream. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to happen. It depends on whether or not my kid is going to school that day. So we're going to see if things thaw. It's not looking great. If it doesn't end up happening Thursday, I'll move my day off. We'll find a way to make it happen, but it might not line up with the affiliate anniversary, which would suck. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping to do a one-day build something 2D from scratch. I'm going to do a little platformer. I want to learn the map tile system in Godot. So that's the plan for Thursday, starting in the morning. If it doesn't happen then, I'll have details on the Discord of when we move it. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for the raids and follows. Have a good night. Bye.